Mysteries, Energies, and Predictions. Beloved one, I would like now to continue speaking of some of the mysteries that the Essenes passed down from generation to generation. You are the one who has been the mystic from before recorded history. You are the one who has brought up great civilizations in other times, and you have been the one who has allowed those civilizations to pass and to release all that you knew in those civilizations in order to bring forth a new cycle, as you would call it. It is not as separated ego would judge the cycle to be of the same level. It is very much like your toy called the Slinky that comes a little bit higher each time in its circle. You, as the collective, have been evolving throughout many civilizations, coming to a place where you are now remembering, asking to remember all that you have ever been, ever known, ever created. You are the creator of the universes. You are the creator of this solar system and this planet, and you have a great affinity for certain aspects of this planet. Now we have spoken that you are here from the different constellations. You are the star seed, the seed energy, which has come from other planetary constellations. You are the energy of other cultures from other systems, and you have come, you and the brothers and sisters who populate this most wonderful planet, and a most wonderful project to see how all this can work together. You have a bit of the microcosm of it when you come into a workplace and you work with your co-workers. Some of them you resonate with, and some of them you wonder about. You have even said to yourself, what planet are they from? Or they say to you, what planet is he from? You are bringing together cultures, ways of thinking, ways of believing into a place where, in time, there will be a melding and a remembrance of one. Meanwhile, you have spread across our Holy Mother the Earth many different cultures in this day and time, and you see them trying to live side by side, sometimes with harmony, sometimes not with much harmony, sometimes with out-and-out conflict. In witnessing the conflict, your compassionate heart opens and wants to make it better. Your compassionate heart says, why does it have to be this way? For you would like to get in there and fix whatever is going on, to remember the harmony that you have known from the other constellations and the other forms of life that you have activated. The conflicts, even though they tear at your heart, are as the grinding stone to a diamond, which will bring out in time the brilliance of the blending, the brilliance of the final achievement. When you look upon conflict, there is the human part of you. I know it well. I felt that in many lifetimes. I looked upon Jerusalem, and I knew that all the warring factions, the religious, the political ones, could live in harmony and could know the Father's will for life abundant and happy. And I looked upon Jerusalem, and I wept. The same as you have felt when you have looked upon the various geopolitical groupings that have been and are in conflict with each other. You have a legend, and it is true, of cultures, lands known as Atlantis and Lemuria. The ones of Lemuria lived very close to nature, knew the forces of nature, respected, honored, and lived in harmony with nature itself. You are going to see a rebirth of Lemurian energy. It is very healing energy. You have energy now in some of the older geopolitical groupings that is more of Atlantean energy. This energy, although it has very good parts to it, and can be and have been used for the betterment of the human evolvement, has become a bit rigid, a bit stuck, and you are going to have the possibility of seeing how this works out, all of you star seeds from the different constellations. You are going to be seeing more and more of the manipulation of humanity coming to light, especially in the countries that are of the Atlantean energy. There are many of your geopolitical groupings that are set in a certain culture. It has always been the certain family who has run things, and by that I do not mean biological family, although sometimes it is a biological family. And you are going to be seeing, as you have already seen in the past, some of the most rigid geopolitical groupings finding themselves crumbling. You had a wall not so long ago that was seen to be quite rigid, quite divisive, and within a short time that physical wall came down because the walls within the people's hearts came down, crumbled. Ones were saying, we do not want that physical wall. There is not a need for the physical wall. In fact, there is a need for it to come down so there can be a flow of information, of connectiveness. And so the physical wall came down. There is a consciousness that is calling out for change. You are going to see more of the crumbling of the old. Already in the past you have seen some of the scribes and the Pharisees finding themselves standing out in the marketplace without all of the wonderful raiment. You are going to see more of the scribes and Pharisees, Sadducees as well, expounding what they believe to be the right words to keep everyone in order. And yet ones are going to pass them by because they are going to look as the beggars. In other words, there is going to be a transparency which looks to motive, which looks to the heart of the one who is speaking. Most of your brothers and sisters are wanting to live according to principle, the highest principle. How they get there may differ from how you see your journey to the highest principle, but they are wanting the same, and they are also beginning to throw off the shackles of old thinking. The ones who are originally holding on to what they think their power to be are going to find that that which they are standing on is crumbling. So you are going to see much of change. Some of it is going to look good to you. Some of it is going to look like tragedy at first. Keep it all in perspective. In balanced perspective, you have within the Atlantean energy much of creativity, technological creativity, which has brought much ease to your lives. Many of the so-called inventions that you are surrounded by bring comfort to the body, the warmth, the kind of raiment you wear, the lighting that you have in your dwelling place, the way you can heat your food, the way the food is processed and brought to you, the way your information is brought to you now on your web, as it is called. The Atlantean energy has much of good in it, and it has been used for good in many times in many civilizations. But it also has the temptation to feel itself powerful and to feel arrogant because of what it has provided. The feeling of, I can create, which you can, and I can control, which you cannot. Many of the brothers and sisters have been caught in the temptation of feeling that they are in power because of the Atlantean energy that they know so well. Now, you know Atlantean energy. You know how to create. But you also have a softness, a mellowness about the heart. A heart that opens and takes into account more than just what are your requirements, what is going to be self-serving, or even self-serving to the group that you feel attached to. Atlantean energy has much of an attachment. It owns, so it thinks, and it wants to control because it feels it has the power. It has proved by evidence of the inventions and technology that it has power. It feels it has power over individuals. You are going to be seeing some of the decline of that energy, not without a fight, because Atlantean energy believes in itself, as it sees and understands itself to be. And it is not going to release, change, modify without a struggle. You are going to see that in your leaders in all fields. Some of the leaders are of compassionate heart. So far, many of them have been sitting on the sidelines because they do not want the slings and arrows of the world. But they are going to begin to see that the slings and arrows are coming at them anyway, so they might as well get into the middle of it. They are going to, and you are going to have more voices, and some of you are going to be those voices, speaking out for a new direction, looking to other models of how one can live in harmony without judgment. You have had lifetimes in Atlantis and Lemuria, and you are bringing those energies into a most wonderful blending even in this lifetime. Certain of you have great technological bent. You want to know how things work, and you cannot wait to get the next invention to see what it will do, how you can use it. But you also have the appreciation for the sunset and the sunrise, for all the beauty that is in nature. You know how to sit with the grass and to hear it growing. You know mellowness. So you are not just Lemurian, and you are not just Atlantean. You are the ones who in this lifetime are bringing these energies together into a most wonderful blending, and you do it without thinking. Well, I'm going to take a cupful of Lemurian, and I'm going to take a cupful of Atlantean and see how it works. But you do it because it is your nature as one to bring it all together. Furthermore, you are going to be remembering your lineage from before Holy Mother Earth, before Atlantis and Lemuria, and you will call upon innate remembrance from your experience in your constellation, starseeds that you are. This year, individually, many of you are going to be making changes. Some of you are going to be changing employment. Some of you are going to be changing the dwelling place. Within the 12 months, you are going to find yourself moving, not only the physical bodies, but moving within with new revelations. Some of you already have been feeling stirrings of change, and you have been in a place of excitement because you want to change, and also in a place of, oh, but I like the old as well. How can I be elastic enough to keep my arms around all that I have loved in the past and embrace all the new as well? Well, because of your Atlantean energy of technology, you will do it. With all your communications, with your transportation modes, with your Lemurian talent of knowing heart to heart what is going on with the others, you are going to know when to pick up the telephone if you want to do that, or when to travel to be with the other ones. It will be a mix of the Atlantean and Lemurian energies, plus a remembrance of past journeys shared in other constellations. The Essenes knew that they came from other constellations. That was part of the mystery that they held close to their hearts. They tried to tell brothers and sisters that there was life beyond Holy Mother Earth. They tried to tell that there was much more to life than just growing the crops, raising the children. That was important, yes. But there was life beyond what they saw in front of them. And they were called fools. They were called the ones who were outcast, too far out. And so they kept the mysteries to themselves. They knew how to commune with all the parts of themselves, and by that I mean the Lemurian parts and all the parts of the Atlantean energy, the creative parts and the temptations, and with Lemurian energy the feelings of reverence and appreciation, and the temptation of not doing but just being. So you see, as there is a belief in duality with the energies, and the whole range of energies, these are as 2 points of the same stick. This year will bring you much joy, much to reflect on, much which will call forth from you the perspective of lifetime from before Mother Earth time. Keep a light heart, smile often, even in the confusing times, knowing that all things lead to the atonement, the realization of at one month. So be it.